Ash and debris from the High Park fire sit on the hills here in the Poudre Canyon, and as a lot of this snow starts to melt, it brings a lot of that down into the river, and then the river will carry it into Fort Collins, making very murky waters in the lower Poudre. Driving in spring weather can be unpredictable, so experts suggest that you keep the fan and defroster on in your car the entire time so that moisture doesn't accumulate inside of that windshield. Another tip is to monitor how much windshield wiper fluid your car has in it. If it's low, fill it up. It's really easy. All you have to do is pop the cap and pour the blue liquid in until the tank is full. Dylan, with delicacies like Nutella being offered in many university dining centers, some students are taking more than their fair share, with the delicious treat leaving in one of these. This particular iPhone features a 14-karat gold outside casing, but the reason for the high sticker price of $15 million sits right on the front in this small button. The long-awaited premiere of the newest Batman movie had this Aurora theater sold out, and the people in Theater 9 faced their worst nightmare. A gunman entered the theater and opened fire, killing 12 people inside.
We just went to watch a movie.
Jamie and Patricia Roars and their children sat in Century Theaters Thursday night when terror filled the air of Theater 9.
The first thing that goes through your head, like, please let someone just be messing around.
When Jamie realized it was no joke, he grabbed their 3-month-old son Ethan and tried to duck.
I look up and his head's popped out, exposed, and he's crying, and I was like, if I stand up, they're gonna shoot him right in the head.
Jamie was then separated from Ethan. Mom Patricia saw Ethan in the seat, grabbed him, and ran for the exit.
She saw him right there on the stairs, and she picked him up.
We had to get my kids out.
From when the first responders arrived,
Team 6, we got another person outside shot in the leg of female. I got people running out of the theater that are shot.
Aurora police continue to gain insight on this tragedy.
We have information as to what occurred in the theater based on the roughly 200 interviews that we have made, and we have ballistic evidence inside that suggests how the shooting went down.
3-month-old Ethan received treatment for smoke inhalation. He is the youngest victim of the Aurora theater shooting. Mom Patricia suffered shrapnel wounds to her left leg, leaving her limping as the family returned to the theater and told media,
Just thank God that we're alive, and my son's alive, and my family's alive.
a phrase many others find themselves lucky to say. In Aurora, Kirsten Swanson, CBS 4 News. Thin smoke rose today over Rocky Mountain National Park. Officials say the Fern Lake fire has burned close to 660 acres in the past 3 days.
Fire's behavior has been minimal. It's expanded in all directions, but not exponentially.
Bear Lake Road and Moraine Park remain closed because of their proximity to the fire. Visitors are being directed around these areas throughout the day. Almost 90 firefighters are trying to fight this fire, a task that proves to be very difficult.
The fire is burning in steep, rugged terrain that includes a lot of beetle kill, and that's prohibiting direct attack by firefighters on the ground.
Because it's difficult for ground crews to get into the area where the Fern Lake fire is burning, other resources are being utilized here in Rocky Mountain National Park.
We're managing this by air water drops right now.
These heavy heli tankers fly in and drop water on the blaze. High winds and an approaching cold front may bring the park some much-needed moisture.
If we were to get some snowfall, that would absolutely help the firefighting efforts.
Snowfall the area has been expecting for weeks now. In Rocky Mountain National Park, Kirsten Swanson, CTV News. That's right, Wayne, traditions are huge here at CSU, and homecoming week is no exception. That's why Traditions Council hid a few surprises in some of the most historic areas around campus. A scavenger hunt of sorts, with one sweet prize from an off-campus cafe.
I heard that there were gnomes chilling on campus, like little garden gnomes, so I went on the hunt.
Yes, garden gnomes, like these pictured here, took up home all over campus this week. Traditions Council at CSU sponsors this Find the Gnome contest, giving out clues that identify the places they are hidden in.
Yeah, no, it was like if I was in a rock band with Isaac Newton, I'd play the bass. So I was like, oh, light bulb, statue, Sir Isaac Newton quote over there on Pitkin. So the base of the statue is where it was at.
If you happen to discover one of these little guys around campus, walk him over to Cafe Olé and get 2 free weeks of coffee. 2 gnomes have already been turned in, both hidden near landmarks on campus that many students walk by each day.
So like, oh, Robin Hood, Sherwood Forest. So I went to Sherwood Forest, looked around Sherwood Forest a little bit, and what do you know? There was a gnome just sitting right in there in the corner.
These gnomes represent more than just a free cup of coffee.
One thing with the Traditions Council is we want more students to be aware of their traditions, and like if there's any incentives behind that, it's a great idea.
They represent a rich history that surrounds CSU students every day. Deep did mention to me that there is still one gnome left in hiding, and the last clue is I sit upon the highest geometric shape. Now guys, right now I'm standing next to the cube, and Deep also told me that he went in the cube, looked around, and couldn't find the gnome, had absolutely no luck. So it's not in the cube, but CSU, it could be somewhere else, and you could find it. For CTV News, I'm Kirsten Swanson.
You're watching CBS 4 News in high definition.
This Denver dentist lost his license to practice after he reused IV needles during procedures. Tonight, 3 of his former patients have tested positive for infectious diseases. Thanks for being with us. I'm Kirsten Swanson. 3 patients of Dr. Steven Stein reported positive test results for HIV, hepatitis B, or hepatitis C. And you know, Wayne, with all these bike events happening right now, if you missed Tour de Fat here in town last weekend, you can catch it in Denver. Denver's hosting their annual ride this coming Saturday. There's still some time until voting booths open in November. Over the next couple weeks, we will show you here at CTV a few of the issues that you might want to consider in the election. This week's topic, the economy. For many bikers here at CSU, Thursday morning means free breakfast. The Campus Bicycle Advisory Committee will be supplying free breakfast to bikers at CSU. It happens in various locations around campus during Thursday mornings in the month of September.